Wow, 30 years. That's a pretty good run of helping this organization.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, you've coached kids, I guess grandkids now?
Yeah, I have a grandson that's playing. He's 8. He's playing in first-year pitching machine.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my son Mark coach his team.
Mm-hmm. And baseball is it's a great thing. It's been passed down from generation to generation over the years, and it's part of the lifeblood of this community, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I grew up playing ball on this field. I lived like 3 blocks from here when I was a kid. I grew up in the Leclaire neighborhood back here, about 3 blocks away, and we spent a lot of time up here playing ball. So this and Little League Edwardsville Little League back then, that was really the only organized sport in town, and that was the first exposure I had to an organized sport. So it kind of it has a special place for me because of that too.
Yeah, and baseball has meant a lot to the Edwardsville community too. I mean, from grassroots groups like this all the way up to the Edwardsville High
Absolutely,
program.
I'd like to think that we have a little bit of part of the success they've had at the high school because we think we've developed a good program for the kids to progress in and improve every year. So, I think we like to believe we've had a little bit of part in that.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's just a fun game too.
Yeah.
What has being a part of the organization meant to you over these last 30 years?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What has being a part of this organization meant to you the last 30 years?
Well, like I said, the whole organization has a special place in my heart because I started in it as a young kid, and it just meant a lot to me as a kid. And I had 3 sons. They all came through this organization and played baseball, so it's been a big part of my family and my life for a long time. My older brother and my younger brother both came through. My first exposure to it was when my older brother Mike played. I was always the bat boy for his team. That was my first exposure to it, and of course, I wanted to be like those guys, and so it just carried on from him to me, to my younger brother, my kids, and now my grandkids.
It just passed on from generation to generation. That's a good thing.
Right.
What do you see the future of the Edwardsville-Glen Carpenter Little League Association being?
We've got a good future. Kids still sign. We still have a lot of kids signing up to play every year. Even with all the select teams that have formed over the years, it has taken, some of the players from our league, but we've still stayed plenty strong. We have between 800 and 1,000 kids sign up every year. 60 to 70 teams from kindergarten all the way through high school.
So you have divisions all the way, like you say, from kindergarten through high school age.
Absolutely. Kindergarten, we start them in kindergarten, and they can play all the way through 12th grade if they want to.
Yeah, and it's just there's a lot, with the volunteer help besides you. It does mean a lot. I'm sure the organization couldn't go without the things you've done.
The whole thing started with volunteers. A group of men met in 1955, organized by Ed Tibbles, who was the first commissioner. And there's no way I would have lasted in it for 30 years without all the guys who volunteered on the board. And especially, I was a commissioner for like 24 years, and there's no way I could have done what I did through those 24 years without all the guys that volunteered on the board, and especially the guy who was my vice commissioner for that amount of time, which was my best friend, Jim Riggs. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2013, but there's no way I could have done what I did and stayed in it as long as I did without him by my side doing everything that he did, and everybody else on the board also. I mean, right now we've got probably probably 80 or 90% of the guys on the board right now have been on the board for 15 years or more.
That's a lot. I mean,
they're all guys that came on when I was commissioner.
Right.
I mean, Terry Hartley's been on for. I've been on 30. Terry's been here for like 28. Ben Malashevsky's been here for 25 years. Ron Hicks, 25 years. I mean, we've got a lot of guys that have been here 15 years or more on the board, and they just stick around, and it's helped us keep some continuity and keep the organization strong.